Welcome to Janet's Plant-Powered Kitchen, where plants are powerful. Today we are going to make a fruity version of plant-based ice cream. The two main ingredients are mango and coconut milk. Mango is high in vitamin C, which will help with immunity and iron absorption. And coconut milk is a creamier version of plant-based milk than almond or oat milk. And it's a good choice for fruit-based ice creams. As an alternative to the coconut milk, you could use coconut yogurt. So let's go ahead and get started. I have my NutriBullet and I'm going to put the ingredients in the canister. I will put in 2 cups of mangoes, frozen mangoes. Now this particular package is 24 ounces and there is enough in here to make 2 batches of mango ice cream. This recipe will serve 2, so if you have a family of 4, you'll want to use the whole package. And then I'm going to put in a half a cup of coconut milk, or like I said, alternatively, you could use a half a cup of coconut yogurt. I'm going to put just a pinch of salt to pull out the flavors. And then this is optional. You can put a 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom in your mix if you like. If you don't have cardamom or you don't like it, you can always substitute for cinnamon or leave it out altogether. And then this other last ingredient is also optional. I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of sweetener in. I'm going to use maple syrup today. You could also use agave. You could use a tablespoon of date syrup, a tablespoon of coconut sugar, or a tablespoon of honey, or whatever sweetener you like. So I'm going to go ahead and put all of this in my NutriBullet and get it blended right up. Okay, we've got this blended up. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, if you happen to have a high power blender, which I really don't, you can put the mango in frozen straight from the freezer and you mix all of this together. It will be frozen and you can eat it right away. My blender is it's not quite as powerful, so I take my mango out, let it sit for about 20 minutes at room temperature, and then I blend it together. Now you can see that this is going to need to go in the freezer because my mango was not 100% frozen. It was thawed. And it fits nicely into these 2 cups. It is, like I said, it needs to go in the freezer for about an hour, 2 at the most. And then you can take it out and eat it. Now, a few things that you might want to add to your mango ice cream. What you could do before you pour it into cups is you could chop up some macadamia nuts and add that to the mixture. Macadamia nuts would go very well with mangoes. Also, what we like to do when we get ready to eat it, and I'm not going to put some on directly because it needs to freeze, but I do make homemade granola. And so what we like to do after it thaws out a little bit, we like to put a scoop of homemade granola on top for a little extra crunch. So I'm going to put the lids on my mango ice cream. One thing about fruit-based ice creams, once it freezes, it'll freeze pretty solid. You'll want to take it out about 20 minutes before you plan to eat it to soften, so that it will soften up a little bit. So let's go ahead. I hope you give this a try. Let's do our plant-powered tip of the day. So let's talk today a little bit about fiber. Fiber, which you find in mangoes, is important for your overall health. Eating enough fiber will help manage diabetes. It regulates blood sugar. It lowers cholesterol and promotes digestive health. Now, the CDC recommends the consumption of about 14 grams of fiber per 1,000 calories, which is roughly 25 to 35 grams per day. But the average person eating a standard American diet may eat 10 to 15 grams of fiber per day and will not meet the minimal threshold. However, People who eat a whole food plant-based diet can easily exceed the minimum threshold and can approach up to 50 grams of fiber per day. So you can find this recipe in the comment box below. If you like my videos, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button below. I will share a new video every week, and in the meantime, give this mango ice cream a try and give yourself a break from the summer heat. Enjoy.